Your customers are craving a great tasting, authentic pizza experience. That's why we offer Primo Molino Neapolitan style flour, an affordable, high performing flour that's a great alternative to imported Italian 00 flour. It's milled right here in North America, so you can always count on authentic crust texture and taste without the imported flour price. Using an imported flour today? Check out ardentmills.com to request a sample and try it for yourself.
Welcome to another episode of Checking In. I'm Josh Keown along with Denise Greer of Pizza Today. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Josh. Hello.
Today we have on the show Chris Brown and Zach Toth, owners and founders of Benny's, which has 20 locations across 5 states. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So, 20 locations across 5 states in 9 years?
Yeah, so you guys got to be tired.
A little busy.
It's been a fun 9 years for sure.
Yeah.
The last 9 months have probably been hardest of all of them, though.
Of course.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So, with having 20 locations, across all the states and all the different regulations, how are you guys going about keeping track on all of that?
Really, we're lucky to have a pretty strong management team that's able to keep us updated even of local rules and regulations with the local health departments, cities, states. It seems like every day is kind of a different, we would joke about it during all of the pandemic, it wasn't something to joke about the pandemic, but like it was a 24-hour variance in how rules were going to change. So we really just took the time to sit down with managers and on a daily basis, have phone calls, feedback, best practices, work with our food providers to get the necessary supplies and sanitation equipment into stores. So it really just became a full team effort all the way up of our chain of command from the staff to the assistant managers, all the way through our regional managers and owners' office, just to have a real line of communication as actively as we possibly could across, 260 some employees at that point.
Wow, 220, that's a lot of employees.
Yeah, we were very lucky, and it was something Chris and I are both very proud of, is that during that period of time, we didn't have to lay anybody off. We, of course, we had a couple people that, for their safety and health reasons, decided that they shouldn't be at work, and we completely honored that decision. But we really wanted to do everything in our power to make sure that everybody can make this through this together.
And though some of your locations are in college markets, you guys are very community centric. Can you talk about kind of how that's been since the pandemic and kind of your market and, where things have shifted for you?
I think that's probably been the hardest part, is because we're so community centric. That's what we always focused on. And when the community is kind of falling apart, it's hard to keep up with and try to keep everyone happy. But it just came down to, like Zach said, talking to our employees, seeing what they're comfortable with, talking to our customers and seeing how to make their lives easier, whatever, from bringing pizza out to their cars or setting up sanitation stations, whatever it is. It's all about just listening to people and talking to see what the best is. Yeah,
a great example of that, when Chris was saying, like talking to the patrons, was during the meat shortage of steaks and chickens, we realized that grocery stores were running out of stuff, and they came to us and said, hey, is there any way you guys can get this? And so we started taking pre-orders for, fresh and frozen meats that they could pick up on Fridays. And it seemed to be something that really went well with the community, so that people could be getting something that they weren't able to get inside the grocery stores in that moment.
Oh, wow. Are you still doing any of that? Has that kind of subsided totally with your markets?
It's slowed down now, just because now we're trying to get back into our regular routine. Doing those type of items was great for the patrons and customers, and we really enjoyed being able to provide that. But it also adds that extra layer of stress to the staff members during a period of time that trying to reduce stress was the most important part to us. So we have laid back now on some of the stuff got back into the pizza business.
Yeah, I gotcha. Now with dealing with so many different states, where are you at as far as your dine-in capacity? I know that a lot of your shops, you do a lot of carry out, and probably you guys do delivery as well, right? Are you able to offer dine-in in some of your locations?
This was, again, it was hard to keep up with the rules changing every 24 hours. But even when we were allowed to, it was just about what customers were comfortable with, or the staff. We put out seats that would be facing away from people or that are 10 feet away. So it came down to maybe probably less than 50% seating capacity that we would do, even if we were allowed to have more. But it was, trying to keep everyone safe was our goal.
On a side note, anytime you guys want to have a location in Louisville, Kentucky, we'd welcome you.
Yeah.
All around. So we can use some
Virginia
good slices here. So one thing I love about you guys is the simplicity of your menu. You have a couple specials each month, and then it's, cheese, pepperoni, sausage, mushroom, and that's it. Am I correct on that? So what was kind of the thought process on coming and chips? I forgot you have chips as well, and doing that menu.
It was just about making it simple for everyone, making the whole process of getting a slice as fast as possible. So that's why we don't have even numbers for our pricing. So bill is what you give someone. You're not trying to count out change. Even these things that take maybe 5 seconds. When you're cutting out every one of these steps, you can get a slice out to someone in a minute instead of 5. And so by limiting the options, that was one of it. And people really, they didn't need to have 20 different options. They usually just get pepperonis. So just make it easier for them.
Yeah, I love that.
Primary focus on, we really enjoyed making pizza. We're not toppings people, we're not chefs. The people in our restaurants are not chefs. We really enjoy high quality pizza. And the way we always looked at that is cheese and pepperoni are always the two number ones that people go to. And then the toppings are they can always take over the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And we have nothing against that. I love good gourmet pizzas too, but that was never our intention. It was really to put all the focus on a product at the bottom of it, and we didn't want to overwhelm that flavor.
And that's, when we visit a pizzeria, that's the first thing we do. We get either cheese pizza or pepperoni pizza, and if you could do that right, you can do anything else right.
Absolutely.
I think there's something also about when you go to a pizza place and they've got a dozen pies under heat lamps that they're all just dying. It's never. Right.
It's not a good look.
I would agree. Absolutely. And you've got a 28-inch pie, right? So I'm always curious about your ovens with that big of a pie. How are you able to keep the efficiency and just keep the number of pies coming in and out?
I think that's also, by having just a 28-inch pizza, we've got 2 slots on each of our ovens. So it's very easy. You're not trying to fumble around different size pizzas and moving from the front or the back. You keep them in there. So you get the process down pretty quickly, pretty easily.
Yeah.
Slices, that's it.
You've made it, your operations are so simplified that it seems like you're able to just turn and burn with the number of pizzas. Have you noticed, in some markets, are you finding an increase in sales after the pandemic, or are you kind of down in other markets?
Yeah, it's crazy to look at the numbers. It's actually what somebody just brought us back in. Year to date, we're still off about 33% total across 20 stores, because everybody hears great stories about how Domino's is killing it and all that stuff and fast food places. We really don't focus on delivery. We always like the idea of having customers come into our store, see smiling faces. We put a lot of time and effort into design and creating that feel that people want to sit there and hang out. So the delivery market really was never for us. We do third-party delivery, but we all know fees associated with those don't bode well to profitability. And we do have one delivery location that we do ourselves, and that's fine. But overall, it's been one of those weird years. We do have some stores that are actually up. Those stores tend to be in vacation markets where people were able to get out of the big cities and go to either their second homes, or they decided I can work from home, so I rented a house for the summer or do whatever. Those markets are actually seeing increases because they're used to just cyclical tourism. Now they're kind of having a surge in population. And then there's markets that are bigger cities that some have come back really well. An example of a market that's really that has not come back well yet is Raleigh. The city's still really boarded up. The government hasn't opened workers back up to coming back into the city yet. So at this point in time, that's our market that was always a great market for us. It hasn't seen that turnaround yet, where some of the other ones, like a Charlotte, North Carolina. So Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. The difference in those two spots is crazy. Like, you think in the same state they would see the same type of patterns, but Charlotte has come back kind of stronger than ever, which is really cool to see. So, we don't even know what's really causing any of that, but they're kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
Much like 2020, it's just kind of all over the place.
Exactly right. We try to gauge it. We try to help our managers with staffing and staff leveling to make sure that we're not overstaffing, but it's still that balance of making sure people are getting paychecks, because we know everybody needs them to get through. So it's just been a fun. Well, yeah, I mean, it's been fun. It's a complete balancing act right now to make sure everything gets done like efficiently.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I want to switch gears back to what you were talking about with your growth. And you said you have partnership locations and a franchise location coming on board. And as you grow, what made you want to go with kind of that balanced model as far as growth of doing the partnerships and the franchise locations?
So franchising was not something we ever wanted to get into. We just thought it was not cold, but it's not like a very personal relationship is how we always thought of it. But we had people reaching out to us from Nebraska or Denver, Colorado, saying they wanted to open venues in their town, and they had the same mentality that we have of helping a community, like being part of it. It's not about being in a strip mall and just trying to make money off it. It's about building something. And it just got to the point where we're like, well, we're never going to go to Nebraska or Denver, so how can we expand to those markets? The best way to do it, and franchising seems to be really the only way you can do it.
And how long did it take you to get, because I know the process is intense as far as setting up all your systems and things to get you ready for selling franchises. How can you tell us a little bit about that process, especially for operators that are thinking, well, maybe I'd like to go down that route, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, luckily we had, because we had already grown to 20 stores, we had kind of had all the books already to the operations guys and everything. So that part wasn't so hard since we were already there, but it has been about a year of, 5 emails a day from lawyers and it's very complicated, complex.
Yeah, it's been a very fun process. I think we actually started in February 2019. Is that right?
Probably, yeah.
And so the first year, Chris and I kind of just tried to do it ourselves. And we realized that we were not salespeople.
Not at all.
We enjoyed doing it, and that was the reason why we never really got into it before. And so while we were able to, we were getting a lot of interest, our ability to keep track of the interest and to follow through all the way wasn't like our strong suit. So we finally partnered with another company, Strategic Franchising Group, to help us kind of monitor and manage that process of kind of the lead generating. And what we found is most of our leads actually come from our website of patrons that have been there, which is awesome to see. But the back end process, like Chris is talking about now, is that's really now going to become our primary focus. We've sold 2 franchises during the pandemic, which is really cool to see.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're excited to get going. That's Leesburg, Virginia. Dan and Karen Hurdle, they're starting to look for space and trying to find a lease. And then we have Jay and Wereth down in Charlotte, North Carolina, that they're going to try to get another location going down there. They're in the lease process, negotiation process. So, And as we mentioned, Kalamazoo, Michigan's we would say about a month out from being open. So he went through in a weirder time of being almost ready to open come March when all this hit, and then with government closings, health departments, inspections, all that happening, he's kind of been delayed a little bit. But it's awesome to see that there's people out there that are taking this all in stride and really enjoying it and like taking a new challenge out of all of it.
But I tell you what, let's go out on, what kind of advice do you have for operators that are wanting to grow? You were able to grow so fast, 20 stores in 9 years. What advice do you have for other operators that are kind of thinking about trying to do a similar thing?
I mean, I think sticking to your brand is something that we've really taken a lot of pride in. Helping, historic downtown properties, rejuvenating, doing all that type of stuff is really how you end up really enjoying coming to work. And then the other part we talk about a lot is like being in locations that you really enjoy being in and that you want to travel to and go to every day. So we like to put restaurants in a location where we would love to show up for work in the morning, whether that's a city, state, town, or specific building. Like we realize that then that also, like, our excitement about that goes across of our staff. And the last part I would say is that having a really, as you have those team members that have proven themselves and really have proven that they want to be a part of a brand, you reward them for that. And we have we have people that have been with us for 8 or 9 years in this business, and they've moved up to regional management positions and oversee 4 or 5 locations. So if you're able to do that so that they're an extension of you, it really helps your growth.
Yeah, it's not just your staff, but all your partnerships. Get everything in line with your food distributors and just get everything, the operations moving smoothly. You can look at it from there.
That's awesome.
Well, guys, thanks so much for your time today. And it's good to see you guys are still doing well and growing and all that. And best of luck in 2021.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
All right. Thanks, guys.